valued student, my name is Confident. Welcome to our part 2 of Mathematics N1, where I am revising with you guys on how to answer question number 1. As I previously said, it is very important for you to begin your exam. Most of the times, the way you start or the way you begin your exam will determine the success of the whole exam. So that's why I thought of looking at question number 1, because it's a psychological question in the sense that when you find yourself already struggling at the beginning, chances are you will believe you're failed, you'll start seeing failure, you'll start being demoralized, you'll start panicking. So if you can deal effectively with question 1, you can actually deal effectively with the rest of the paper. So I'm focusing on question number 1. This is the second part. I will encourage you to grab hold of the first lesson, because it actually also lays a good foundation on how to deal with question number 1. And I will encourage you guys, if you have not subscribed to our channel, to subscribe to our channel, and also make sure that that notification bell is switched on, so that every time there is a new video, you are able to be notified by YouTube, because we post these videos on almost on weekly basis. And also you can forward this channel and share with your colleagues and friends so that they can also benefit. Remember, sharing is caring. Now, this is a 24-minute lesson. Sometimes it's below or under 24, sometimes it's over 24 minutes. But one thing you need to do, if you see a lesson that is over 24 minutes, for example, maybe that lesson is 40 minutes, I will encourage you to split that lesson into 2 sessions, because your mind is designed in such a way that it can fully concentrate for a maximum time of 25 minutes. So anything you do after, yes, you'll be understanding, but you are no longer having your maximum concentration. You can be distracted by other things. So if you want to benefit, most of the time whenever you are studying, always try to study your subjects in 24-minute pockets. This will assist you so that you can benefit effectively. It's a simple thing to do. Just sit for 24 minutes. After that, just take a 5-minute break. Do something that is totally different from what you're doing. You can go outside, get a fresh air, chat with someone. Don't sit with your phone and think that you are taking a break. No, you just need to change the environment. Just go outside, stretch yourself, do something different, make yourself a tea or coffee. Just go and do something totally different to distract you from what you were doing. When you come back, your mind will have refreshed and you'll be able to begin your next 24-minute lesson. I hope this was a tip that you can use. Now let us look at this question. This what question, I'm focusing on question 1. Now I took this from a July 2019 paper. So as you can see, and as I said, my interest here is not looking at the whole paper, but my focus is only on question number 1. So I just want us to look at this question 1. How were you supposed to approach it, and how were you supposed to deal with some of the challenging questions that can come out of it? And let us look at this question now. The first question is, as you can see, question 1.1, and it's 1.1.1. It says simplify the following using exponents without using a calculator. So you see that you must not use a calculator, and they're giving you those 2 marks. So now, how do you simplify a question like that? Let me just try to write it on a fresh page, maybe. I think that will be much better, so that I can show my full working. So we are here to say it's 5 times. If I can write this question, it's 1.1.1, it's 5. You multiply that by cube root of 8x to the power of 6. So there is a cube root of 8x to the power of 6, and then times 3x squared. You've got times 3x squared. So this is what you're given, and you're supposed to simplify this. Now, what must you be aware of? Now, if they give you this cube root, This sign cube root, actually it means you put in brackets and you put power 1 over 3. That is what the cube root mean. So if they give you maybe this sign without any number, it's a square root sign. So what you do, it means everything is to the power half. If they give you that n and they do that, it means this is the nth root, so it is to the power 1 over n. So it doesn't matter what number that n is, so everything is to the power that 1 over n. Now, having said that, they gave us in this case 8 x to the power of 6. So now another thing I want to show you is this number 8. If you take your calculator and you try to simplify this number 8, you will see that 8 is same as 2 to the exponent 3. You must know such numbers like 8, 16, 32. For example, 2 to the power of 5 is 32. You must know such numbers. So 8, we are saying, is 2 cubed, you get 8. So now instead of writing, in this case, the 8, so I'm going to already change it as 8 is 2 to the power of 3, and then it will be x to the power of 6. So which means in the brackets, you are going to have now 2 to the power of 3 and x to the power of 6. Now, when I write that now in the question, it will be 5 times bracket 2 cubed times, you can put a times, but you can just write it as like that, x6. But don't forget, this is to the power a half, and it's times 3x squared. Now the next thing is to open that bracket. And how do you open this bracket? You need to realize that that half will multiply inside the bracket, but it is only dealing with the powers. So it will multiply the 3 and the 6. So you will have now the 5 times 2, which is 3 times a half, x to the power of 6 times 1 over 2. And then you multiply that times 3x squared. You're continuing. Remember, it's simplifying. Actually, it's supposed to be 1 over 3 here. I don't know why I'm writing 1 over 2. This is supposed to be 1 over 3, remember? It's a, we said it's a cube root. So even here, I'm multiplying by 1 over 3. So 1 over 3 times 3, this will cancel to give us a 1. So you've got 5 times 2 exponent 1, x. Now 1 over 3 times 6, it will give you a 2 there, which is x squared times 3x squared. Are you with me? So someone can ask, what law are you using? What I did here is, there is this law which says if you're given a to the power of m multiplied by n, what you must know is the m and the n, they multiply, which is m times n. As you can see, the bracket there means you multiply those exponents. Now we are then going to apply, after we've gotten this, we're going to look at what is common. Look, we've got x and the x, and we're going to use this law which says a to the power of m times a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m plus n. So that's what you're going to use. Now we're going to apply it on x squared times x squared. It will be x to the power of 2 plus 2. That's what I'm trying to say. So what you're going to have then, you're going to have 5. You take the numbers together, times 2 and also times 3. These are all the numbers that you are having, 5, 2 and 3, and then times x to the power of 2 plus 2, which is equal to 5 times 2 times 3. You get 30 x to the power of 4. So this becomes the answer. Now you can test your answer. You can test it out. How do you test your answer? You choose any value of x. For example, you can say let x be equal to 3. Let's use a different number. Let's say 5. So let x be equal to 5. So what you do is you go to the original question and you put, where there is x, you put 5. So it will be 5 times, and remember we said this was shift cube root of 8 okay, but you put a bracket now because we want to put that x, where there is x, we put 5 to the exponent 6. All right, and then after that you say times 3 bracket x squared, which is 5 squared. Now I want you to notice the number we're gonna get is 18,750. So here we are getting 18,750. We must get the same answer here when we put, where there is x, we also put our value of 5. So let me do that. On our answer is 30 bracket 5 to the power of 4, which is equal to, you see, 18,750. So now the fact that these answers are the same when I choose any value of x, it means my simplification is correct. Therefore, you can conclude with that the answer that I got there is correct. You don't need to show this. This was just you quickly testing your answer, and the simplification is like that. So let us look at this now. Next question. So that was the 2 marks. It was not difficult, but it needed you to just being a little bit careful with the way you're doing that. So let us look at question 1.1.2, and you are given that particular question. It's a little bit long, but I think if I can maybe try just to rewrite it, I might miss a few things, but let me try to work it from here. So I told you that if you're given this sign here to say, if I go next, I said if you are given the sign such as, I can erase here, if you are given that square root sign like this and they don't indicate anything, you must know that the bracket there is to the power 1/2. It means there is a hidden 2. That's why we call it square. It's a square root. So even here you can see there is no number given here, but it's by default that particular number is 2. So this is therefore equal to, you put that bracket and you have got 4a squared b 4 over 9, and then you have got to the power 1/2, then times 3a b 0 times, and then you've got 4b squared. Now let's simplify a few things here. You know, as I said, you need to know such numbers like 4, such numbers like 9. Now 2 squared is equal to 4, and 3 squared is equal to 9. So you must express everything in terms of the squares. So where there is 4, you have got 2 squared, a squared, b4 over 3 squared, and this is to the power 1/2, and we've got times 3a b to the power of 0. Now again you have 4 there, which will be 2 squared b to the power of 2. Now remember, I said what actually happens, I gave you the law which says a to the power of m and n is equal to this m and n, they multiply each other, it will be m times n. So that's what we're going to use here, whereby this particular exponent as a half will multiply though each and every exponent, both top and bottom. Don't forget that it must multiply the top and the bottom. So you'll have your 2 to the power of 2 times half, and then you have your a to the power of 2 times a half. You'll have your b to the power of 4 times a half over 3 to the power of 2 times a half, and then you have times, then we've got 3a. Now I just want to show you something here on b to the power of 0. What you need to know is that any number, for example, a to the power of 0 is 1. Any number to the power of 0, if I say 100 to the power of 0, it will give me a 1. You can test that with the calculator, but any number, doesn't matter how long or how big or how small that number is, the moment you say to the power of 0, it gives you a 1. So here, if we are given 3ab to the power of 0, please note that the power 0 is only affecting the b. That's why they didn't put a bracket. Now, when you put a bracket, you'll be trying to indicate that it affects everything inside the bracket. But this power of 0 only affects b, hence I'm saying b times 1 like that. And then again, this 2 comes affect that. It will be times 2 to the power of 2 times 2. Now the b, they're not giving us any power. By default, if there's no power, it's a 1. So you've got b to the power of 1 times a 2. So that is how the main heavy lifting was involved. After that, it's just a simplification. But when you could have gone through this stage, your answer chances are that it will be correct. You cancel that, you've got 2 to the power of 1, and then a half of 2 again is 1, and then you've got b, half of 4 there, it's 2, over, again the half of 2 there, it's 3 to the power of 1, times 3a, times 2 squared is 2 to the power of 4, and b squared is, b to the power 1 times 2 is b squared. Further simplification here will cause us to cancel the 3. As you can see, 1 3 is at the bottom, 1 3 is at the top, because it's as good as this is over 1. That's what it means. So the bottom can cancel the top. And what you will be left with is, you'll be left with a, b, and the numbers. So you can bring this, the top, you can see the bottom now is over 1, so we can ignore now the bottom, because anything divided by 1 is just that particular number. So now we have 2 to the power of 1 as 2, then we've got another 2 there, which is times 2 to the power of 4, times, then we've got a there, which is a to the power of 1, and we have another a there, which is times a. Because they didn't indicate the number, it means it's power 1, times, we've got b squared here, times, we've got another b squared there. I'm just taking it so that I ensure that I don't lose out anything. Again, there is a law of exponent I showed you, a to the power of m times a to the power of n. Same basis, it means you must add the exponents, m plus n. So when you do that, you're going to have 2 to the power of 1 plus 4, and then a to the power of 1 plus 1, and b to the power of 2 plus 2. So when you do that, you have got 2 to the power of 1 plus 4 is 5, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4. So this then becomes the answer, which is 2 to the power of 5a squared b to the power of 4. Now, someone will say, are you able to test this one? It is possible. If you want to test it, you can, though it's a little bit of work. But let me try to show you what you do. You choose any two values of a, any value of a. For example, let's call a become 2, and let's say b becomes 3. So these values are the ones you're going to enter into the original, and you'll enter into the final. So let's try that. If where there is a, remember, I'm going to put a 2, and where there is b, I'm going to put a 3. So the first thing I have is square root of a fraction, which is 4 bracket, a is 2 squared, and b is 3 to the power of 4. Are you with me? And then all over 9, and that part is multiplied by 3, and my a is 2. Now my b, remember, is 3, but it's to the power of 0. We just maintain everything where we are given, put a bracket, we've got 4, and then I'll say times. In this case, 4 times b is 3, do that, and then I put a squared. So this is what I'm having, and the answer is 10 3 6 8. So I've got here 10 3 6 8. So you keep it there, take it to the bottom. Where there is a and b, you do the same thing, remembering that a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3. So you've got 2 to the exponent 5 multiplied by a is 2 squared multiplied by b, which is 3 to the power of 4. When you do that, you've got 10,368. So here I'm getting 10,368. Now if you check the two answers, 10,368, I also got 10,368. So there is no way such answers can match, the top and the bottom matching, if the simplification was not correct. That's what I use just to make sure that I'm comfortable enough to say I didn't make errors alone. So that was that, if you wanted to solve that. Now let us look at another question. That is question, in this particular case, let me erase here. We are now looking at question number 1.1.3. Now this is where we are. So we are given that, which is, if I can write it, I think it's much simpler. We are given 8 to the power of x plus 3. Alright, and is multiplying by 2 to the power 2x plus 2. Alright, and then it is also multiplied by 16 to the power x minus 1. So this is what we're given, and remember the question, what does it say? It said simplify the following exponents. So we want to simplify. They said no calculator, but we're using it to test. So what do? The hint or the advice whenever you are given such questions is, first take note of ways of expressing each and every one by a same base. So you must match the bases, and you can see the smallest base I have there is 2. So try to match all the others based on this base 2. As I said, you need to know numbers like 16 and 8. Now 8, I think from the previous question we did prove or show that 8 is 2 cubed, and then which means 16 is 2 to the power 4. You see that? So you must know such numbers. So if I can say 8 is equal to 2 to the power of 3 and 16 is equal to 2 to the power 4, you need to know such. So when you write this, you are now going to have 2 to the power of 3, then you put a bracket, then you have got x plus 3. See how you can do that? Times 2 to the power of 2x plus 2 times 2 to the power of 4, and then you've got x minus 1. Do you see how this whole thing is simplifying? And when you've done that, the best way actually to write it will be to write it like this, which is 2 to the power of 3. Instead of the bracket affecting 2 to the power of 3, you can actually do like this, and you say x plus 3. This is the best way of presenting it. Times 2 to the power of 2x plus 2 times 2 to the power of 4 into x minus 1. This is the better way I think of presenting that. Then when you have done that, now you open the bracket, the 3 times x and the 3 times 3. So you'll have, in this case, 2 to the power of 3x. 3 times 3 is 9 times 2 to the power of 2x plus 2 times the 4 will open the bracket there to say 2 to the power of 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. The main law here we are going to use is a to the power of m times a to the power of n. Bases are the same, you write this base, but what do? You add the exponents. So we're using this law in this case, and you can see the bases are the same, 2, 2, 2. So what you have got equal to 2 to the power, our m plus n in this case, this is what we're adding. We're adding those exponents. That's what we'll be adding in this case. So it will be 3x plus 9 plus 2x plus 2 plus 4x minus 4. Collect like terms, which is 2 to the power of 3x. That's the one with x. The next x is plus 2x. The next one is plus 4x. The next one is plus 9. The next one is plus 2. The next one is minus 4. Then when you simplify that, you are adding now 3 plus 2, which is 5, 5 plus 4, which is 9, which is 2 to the power of 9x plus, I hope it's a plus there because I'm adding 9 plus 2, which is, in this case, is 11. 11 minus 4 is 7. So this is the simplified part of what I was doing. Again, I've been saying it is possible to test these questions. You choose any value. For example, when you want to test and this one, you can maybe say let x be equal to, don't choose the big numbers because it will become a very huge number. For example, you can say let x be equal to 2, just a simplified number, and then you use the calculator to give you that. So it will be 8 to the power of 2 plus 3, and then times 2 to the power of 2 into 2. Remember, x is 2 plus 2, and then times 16 to the power of 2 minus 1. And let's do that. You see, it's a very big number. It's 33, 55, 44, 32. So it's 33, 55, 44, 32. 33, 55, 44, and 32. It's just a big number. Let's see if I'm going to get a similar number at the bottom here. When x is equal to 2, so I'll have 2 to the exponent of 9 into 2 plus 7. Am I getting 33, 55, 44, 32? That's the same number that I got up here. So you can see that indeed my answer, or my simplification from here going down up to the answer here, it is correct. Now let us look at the next question and the last one of question 1. Now this is 1.2. Says simplify the following logarithms without using a calculator. This is 1.2.1. Now if I look at this question, I can actually use the calculator directly. So the moment they say don't use a calculator, that's when I actually take a calculator and use it. Why am I doing it? I am doing it so that at least I know what is my answer, and then I work towards that answer. So let us do that. It's log 4. Don't forget the calculator, when you say log, it opens a brackets, right? And you must close it after. So it's log 4 plus, look at this, when I do log 2, it's log is an open bracket 2. Now, if you don't, for example, let me show you what I mean. If you say log 4 and you forget to close the bracket, you'll say plus, and then you say log 2. Now, everything is still having an open bracket of log 4, so you must come here and close that bracket first, otherwise your calculations will be wrong. And log 2, you close that bracket over log 16, and it's minus log 2. Alright, let's say the answer is 1. So just think of it, your answer must be 1. Now work towards that answer of 1. I'm just gonna work it here because I don't see it being difficult. Now you must use the laws of logarithms. Now the first rule there, it says if you're given log in base a of m plus log again same base a of n, it is equal to, now if they are adding, you multiply the logs, you write the base, and then you say m times n. That's what I'm going to use on top. So remember, let me write 1 here. Let me just work it directly from this, so that I don't write equal to. So the top is adding and the base is the same because they just said log. If they don't indicate any base, it means it's base 10. So it's log 4 times 2 over, now the opposite is true. If I'm going to be subtracting the logs, if I'm going to be subtracting these logs and it's minus, what you must know is it is going to be m over n. You divide instead. So at the bottom here we have log 16 over 2, then equal to, now log What is 4 times 2? Is log 8 over, now you divide 16 divided by 2. How many times does 2 go into 16? It's 8 times. So it's log 8 over log 8, and you can see 8 you cancel out, into 8 you get a 1. So that's why your calculator just gave you the number 1. Just think of it, you just get 4 marks. It's a matter of applying the laws of logarithms and you are good to go. So that is how you solve that particular question. I think it was a good 4 marks. Last but not least, it is this particular question they are asking now. It's again laws of logarithms. They are saying 4 log base 3 of 3 squared plus 4 log base 8 of x. Now there is the first law you must remember is and not first law, actually there is a law you must remember. If you are given log base a of b to the power m equal to, this particular m drops down so that you start with the m, then you say log base a of b. That's very important law. The second one is this law which says if you are given log base a of a, now if the base and the number are matching, you get a 1. Remember that. The second one, you can actually prove it with a calculator. For example, if I say log base 10 of 10, it gives me a 1. No matter how I change that number, I can make it 19 and I can make the base also 19. Remember, the numbers must match. The base and the number must be the same. It gives a 1. That's what we're going to use here. So the first one I'm going to have is this particular power here. It is going to drop down and join 4. So if I've got 4 log base 3 of 3 squared, now this 2 will come here, but when it comes here, don't forget what it does. This is what it does. It will be 4 times. It goes and multiplies whatever is before that. So it will be 4 times it's 4 times 2 because I'm dropping the 2. Then you have your log base 3 of 3. I hope you see that. So when I write it now, I will be having, in this particular question here, just look at this, I've got 4 log base 3 of 3 squared plus 4 log base x of x is equal to 4 times 2 log 3 of 3 plus 4 log x of x. Now I've used this law is linked to that law. Now this particular log is the one that is going to be used now there. Same base, 3, it becomes a 1. So 4 times 2 is 8 times 1 plus 4 log xx, same base, same x, it becomes a 1. So what you have is 8 plus 4, and your answer there becomes a 12. So that is how you approach that particular question. So now guys, this is, as I said, it is a way of making you comfortable with question number 1, and the aim is the more you get comfortable with this question, the better it will be for you in solving the rest of the paper. Now if you have not subscribed to our channel, remember to subscribe to our channel and you'll be able to be notified of more videos. Now if you want more resources like your online classes, there are videos, a full curriculum of mathematics N1 video which we have for an affordable price. You can actually check it on the next information after this lesson, and you can visit our website on www.24minutelesson.co.za and you will find lots of information that can assist you as you prepare for your final exams. We have come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.